Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
ACA last night, the death of the Aussie shout, the beer and spirits tax, which is tied to inflation, has led to a round of drinks becoming diabolically expensive. A brewer said this on ACA last night.
If you look at the makeup of what it costs to actually make a finished product, excise tax for us at least probably would equate to about nearly 60% of the cost of the actual making of a beer, and the other 40 to 45% will be the raw ingredients.
That cost flows on and is killing a great Australian custom, the shout.
Around now, between four mates will cost potentially over $50. You've now got this culture where people are just going up to the bar and buying themselves a drink. You know, it doesn't seem right.
That can't be it. The shout is part of our Aussie culture. I always remember the movie They're a Weird Mob from 1968.
Well, when a bloke buys your beer, it's called a shout, see? Now I shouted you, now it's your turn to shout for me.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I think I do not wish to drink another beer.
Now listen, in this country, if you want to keep out of trouble, you always return a shout, see?
Oh, is this a custom?
Bloody oath it's the custom.
Bloody
Your
oath
shout.
it is. And you know what? I reckon if Peter Dutton just said, I'm going to get rid of the excise on beer and alcohol, he would win the next election.
Is he saying that?
No, but because each government loves this tax. Bob Hawke, the big Labor guy.
He gave up the booze.
He gave up the booze, but he's the one that brought the tax in 1983. So it's indexed with inflation.
Yeah.
So it always keeps going up. So Labor or Liberal, they both love the tax. But if you were a leader right now, forget everything. Climate change, forget about immigration, just say, I'm going to drop
But how
this
much
tax.
money is the government? Listen to how much money the government's
They
making
are
from
making
it.
a
Who's going to
fortune.
say no to that? But is it shameful to go and buy your own drink at the bar?
Oh, it just doesn't seem right.
And what about cocktails if girls go out or you're shouting a table of men and women? It's $20 a cocktail.
Because when you were young, you'd go up to the bar, you'd
You'd
be
get
able
a
to
glass of fruity Lexia and it would do you.
There is a-
Blackberry nip.
If you're with your mates, and they're all my mates drink beer. So if you go, right, who's up for a beer? I'll go up and say 5 Tui's News, and that's it. And everything's okay.
Well,
but if someone says, can I get a bourbon and Coke? Everyone sort of goes, okay, mate.
Well, my sons went out for a drink with each other the other day in Jack's local pub. The beer was $17.
Oh,
and
he loves that hipster joint.
Well, that's the stuff.
You get a
Imagine.
cup of mead for $17.
Yeah. The great Aussie shout is still past the pub test.
Look, I think if you're committed, you know what the going prices are at the moment, and if you're going down there to share a good social time with your friends, I think it's very Australian-like to join in the shout.
No, the old Aussie shout doesn't pass the pub test. I went to the pub last week and it cost me $86 for 6 schooners, so it was a very short trip to the pub.
Yeah, to me, the shout passes a pub test. If you go out with the right people, you're always going to get it back, and always make sure you're drinking with an electrician so they give you a shout back.
Absolutely not. As a young mum, I can't afford to pay for everybody's drinks while we're out. So if everyone looked after their own, that way we could go out in a bigger group and the girls just buy their own drinks and makes it easier for everyone. It's too expensive today and I'm just absolutely against it.
Look, it does with a caveat, basically how much a pub is charging a beer, and if they're charging $16-18 for a pint, just say, look, thanks, no, I'll have schooners. Schooners $12, or go to your local club, and at happy hour you can get them a schooner still for about $8, which is bearable. So support your local club.
No, it doesn't. It's too expensive, and if I do that, I can't afford to pay rent for the week.
Yeah, 100%. I think the Aussie shout passes the pub test. You go into a pub and you can't afford a shout, don't go.
Seems divided along gender lines there, isn't it? The girls don't have the shame of buying their own drinks. I think that's a shame that men feel that shame.
And there was an electrician flex as well there.
Oh, what was the joke?
Because they're cashed up. They've got heaps of cash.
Okay.
Sparkies.
Okay.
Doing a great job.
But also, one of the callers was saying, hey, go to your club for happy hour. So change where you actually drink.
Oh, well, I do that.
I know. But they're your choices now.